ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Play-by-Play with Eddie and Jay. I'm Jason Smith.
I'm Eddie Brovey, so you don't have to be.
All right, I had just picked the light heavyweight title match from WrestleMania 14. You have a related match?
I have a related match because the other contender in that match who came back to the company was Essa Rios.
Oh, nice.
Now, when they repackaged Essa Rios, I think really they just wanted Essa in the company because they wanted to give Lita to somebody. What better, individual to give him to than Essa Rios. Absolutely. The thing that was fun about Essa Rios, though, was that he had – this was the time of the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian, the high flying. He was a tremendous high flyer. Shocked the hell out of me when you go back, and I remember when he first came to the company, and then I watched the match, I'm like, I think that's the same guy. And you're just like, oh, wow, that was like a revelation. The match I originally wanted to show was Backlash 2000 when he took on Eddie Guerrero for the European title. Can't find that match anywhere. What I was able to find, though, was Eddie Guerrero and Essa Rios against the Hardy Boys on a Monday Night Raw. So,
awesome.
Without further ado, if you want to
let's go into it. Take it ringside. And there she is, the adult star herself.
The Mamacita years of Eddie Guerrero. Now, at the time, I remember just thinking that as dumb as a gimmick as this was, it was just really fun to watch. But it was the first time you had never seen Chyna with someone who wasn't Triple H.
Her in that comedic role, like you hadn't really ever seen her. She was always just the girl that accompanied Triple H and kicked the shit out of you.
Well, she was the butterface bodyguard, essentially. I mean, I think this role, and again, the offshoot to her as Intercontinental Champion, and I'm shocked to shit that she even bothered with the women's title, but it was Chyna as a diva, as a credible diva. And, of course, you have Lita, who most people don't know was actually first introduced to WWF as one of Godfather's hoes.
Oh, yeah? I didn't know that.
That's another fun little factoid for you, was that Lita first made her debut as a hoe and then eventually became a valet.
Prior to that, she was working in ECW with Danny Dorick and Roadkill.
Oh, that one I didn't know.
Yeah, and prior to that, she was in Mexico, which kind of relates into why it worked for me, the Papi Chulo or the Essa Rios kind of pairing, because that's where she got her training from.
Yeah.
I guess she tells stories. Go watch the Art of Wrestling podcast or listen to that. She tells this awesome story about how they'd made merchandise when she was a fan of her being a fan. It's
kind of interesting.
I think it was like the White Gringo or something they were calling her. I forget exactly what, but.
And again, I'm really disappointed because some of the high spots you're going to see here, it's similar tremendous spots between these guys from Backlash, but I'm just really disappointed because that match from beginning to end, it was really fast-paced. It was good because it was right in the middle of the pay-per-view. It was like dead set in the middle. So, you had your Edge and Christian matches and you had your Kurt Angle matches, and then it's like you got Eddie Guerrero, who did not make the best first splash in the company, quite literally, injuring himself on SmackDown. And I mean, he comes in with the Radicals, first real WWF match, injures himself, and he's out. So for him to be able to wrestle with someone like Essa Rios at Backlash really showcased Eddie Guerrero's talents. And of course, he only got better. And personally, I became an Eddie Guerrero fan later on in his career.
Yeah.
More so when he won the WWE title and he had those great matches with JBL.
Definitely. He was a great U.S. champion and everything like that. That was the time he started picking up speed and the Intercontinental title reigns.
Well, even when he was paired with Chavo, I mean, they were a great tag team.
And it was different. They were funny. It gave Eddie a chance to really be funny, more so than this, for the first time, where it was way more entertaining than I think this was.
Yeah,
in terms of character.
And again, I think anything was more entertaining than that whole Radicals gimmick. I mean, again, they were WCW guys. I don't think it was the smartest decision in the world to introduce them as a stable right off the bat, or this, almost like a Shield type scenario, because individually on their own, they were all tremendous wrestlers. Obviously, you had Benoit, you had Malenko, you had Saturn, and then you had Guerrero. I mean, they all had phenomenal singles careers prior to, signing with WWE. So I kind of feel like they all got off to a rough start, but then later on in this year, I mean, you had Chris Benoit wrestle.
And just for the record, folks, yes, we are a show that does cover Chris Benoit. We don't hide him. We don't replace him with Stevie Richards on the WWE video game.
Did they do that?
Yeah, they did that. Wow. We do acknowledge it. We don't give him more credit. We don't highlight it, but We don't pretend
for
like
what
he
it's
never
worth,
exists.
man, he was a professional wrestler. I mean, there's a majority of professional wrestlers out there, and believe me, I've met a few who are just giant fucking douche canoes. And honestly, they're not perfect. Like, I even wanted to mention when we were talking about Albert on the show that, oh, wait, Test is dead. Like, you tend to forget these things. Like, Andrew Martin, Test, he's fucking dead. Like, he's...
Strange thing about Albert, I actually met him in this town at thought I was a cool mark because he was in Circuit City, and I knew it was him because he had a SmackDown shirt on at the time. And I remember seeing him and being like, you don't want to be that fan who goes up to him. I'm just going to catch his eye, be like,
what's up?
And that was it. That was the interaction. That made me, I was proud of myself for thinking that, like, I'm cool enough to know who you are.
Well, because the Hardys in this match, you could have had the opposite effect, which was King of the Ring 2000. I had left what was then the Fleet Center with my sister and my cousin and my aunt to go meet the wrestlers because it's not a well-hidden secret in Boston. Yes, that's where they go after most of the pay-per-view. I think all the pay-per-views and anytime they perform in this city, they go to Kowloon and Saugus.
I just went there after Night of Champions, actually. Albert was outside. I think I came close or very close to shaking Matt Stryker's hand or something like that.
Oh, Matt Stryker. At this point, I would take it. All I wanted to do was run over to the Hardy Boys rental car. Lita was not very welcoming of any fans, and I got trampled by a pack of fat girls. I
will say she looks good in tight red
I was
leather.
I almost appreciate that more than the thong that was up to here.
Twist of Fate. Nice.
But that's a solid Monday Night Raw match right there because it doesn't have to be tedious. It still has a little bit of drama. And again, the managers play a big part in this.
You got 2 future WWE champions. You got, since we're on the subject of lightweight champions, you got Eddie with the Cruiserweight in WCW.
Yeah.
Matt with the Cruiserweight in WWE. Jeff and Essa with light heavyweight titles. So
I love Essa Rios as a wrestler. I think he did so much better in this match than he did in the match we watched before. I will say the one thing that I can't shake whenever I think of Essa Rios was when the SmackDown episode where Mick Foley called out the entire locker room to talk about Austin's car accident, and Kurt Angle tries to put the blame on Essa Rios, and Essa Rios obviously doesn't speak a lick of English. And
is this the setup for the match that you wanted to see? Because this looks like they were on the same page at that time. It must have been.
Yeah, it was. Because this was right before the Backlash pay-per-view. Because this is what I was going to add in why this was kind of interesting, because you'll hear them kind of banter, although the audio is not so great on this YouTube clip. Jerry Lawler kind of makes reference to this was the night that Y2J won the WWF title from Triple H.
Won.
Yeah, won. That was stricken from the record books.
But still awesome.
Because it's real to us, damn it.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was my clip. You saw Jay's clip, so if you want to send us up.
All right, that's going to do it for this week. This is Play by Play with Eddie and Jay. I'm Jason Smith.
I'm Eddie Brophy, so you don't have to be.
Thanks for watching.